Gatefold wedding invitations are trending right now, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can go about making these right on your own. If you're someone that needs to put a lot of information into your wedding invitation, but you don't want all those little cards with it, this is a great option. Everything is in one space, but everything has its own separate section. And there's so many different possibilities on how to go about doing these, so today I'm just going to show you exactly how I made these little modern ones so you can try it out for yourself. If you absolutely love this design that I came up with, make sure you check out my Etsy shop, but for everyone else, let's start from scratch. So of course, I headed over to canva.com. I'm creating a new design and I am making this a custom size. I changed the units from pixels to inches, and for the width, I am going with 10 and my height 7. If you're hoping for your invitations to be 5 by 7, this is the size you want to go with. These are just the dimensions when everything is laid out flat. Now, the first thing I want you to do when your canvas opens is go over to your elements tab and type in rectangle. Right under quick add, we want to click that so it drops right in for us. Keep that rectangle selected and we are going to go up to the top where it says position. This is the easiest way in which you can change your sizing, so I'm going to be changing this to 5 by 7. Right above our sizing tools, we have align to page. So what we want to select here is center and middle. Now, essentially what we just made here is a little guide for ourselves so we know exactly where the center of our invitation is and where our side panels are going to be. But of course, while designing, we don't want this big gray box right in the middle, so I'm going to change this to no fill and I'm going to give it a very light stroke. So as you can see here in the top toolbar, I went up to my stroke icon and I just put in 0.5 for my dimensions. If you click the outline circle icon next to it, you can change the color of it, so I'm going to just make it a very faint light gray. And there you have it. Here is the inside of what I see my invitation looking like. Before I go ahead and create my design though, I want to duplicate this page. Not only did I plan on having a design on the inside, but I also want it on the outside as well, as that is the first thing people are pulling out of the envelope and seeing. So really quickly, I'm coming down to my bottom here and I'm just changing this so I make sure I know exactly what is going on, so I'm giving it a new title. Now that this has been labeled, I'm going to go down to duplicate page, and as you can see on the bottom, I have now created the same exact thing. Again, I am just going to change the title so I know this part is the outside and my first page is the inside. Now you're good to design away, see what you come up with. I am just going to drop in my design for time's sake so you can see exactly how I go about making this after the design is created. So this is what the inside is going to be looking like, and this is the outside. DC logo is going to be on the back and the date is going to be on the right front flap. Now before I go and save this file out, I need to get rid of that little guide rectangle that we had made for ourselves. So all I do on both pages is I click on the rectangle and I go to the top toolbar and I zero out that outline. Now we are ready to save out our file. Go to the top right, click share, hit download. We want to make sure this is on PDF, best for print. I turn on the option for crop marks so I know where I'm going to be cutting. Make sure both of your pages are selected, come down to color profile and make sure this is on CMYK. So you have those all set, you're good to have it download. Once that's done saving out, in your downloads folder, you should see a preview of your design. Make sure you look it over, make sure you checked all your spelling, make sure the design looks correct, and also make sure your crop marks are there. If that all looks good, make sure you go to file print on your desktop. Now, as far as printer settings go, every printer is different, but these are the settings I use. I make sure my paper size is on 8.5 by 11. I come down to scale and make sure that says 100%. You do not want scale to fit. On the left-hand side, I see a preview and I'm just making sure everything looks good over here and that my crop marks are still there. Now I'm going over to quality and media and I need to change my paper settings. Now, depending on what kind of cardstock you're going to use, I would change your paper to whatever that is. For this, I am printing onto a shimmer cardstock, so I'm going to go with a glossy photo paper and make sure that quality is changed to high regardless of the paper type. Then you're good to send this off to print. Just be mindful, if your printer does not print front and back, you're going to have to do what I do. Send it through your printer to print one side first and then flip it into your printer to print on the back side. If you're going to be doing a lot of these, just print all the front sides first and then flip it around and do all the back sides at one time. You don't want to keep going back and forth with your printer. You will absolutely drive yourself nuts. Once you have your print, you want to take out your slicer. If you don't have one, I absolutely recommend this one because it's also a scoring board, so it will help you when it comes to folds. So as you can see on each edge, I am just running through this and I am slicing off all the extra that I don't need because we need this to, again, be 10 by 7. When you have your invitation all cut down to size, we now need to make the score line so we know exactly where we need to fold this. Now, some really quick mental math. If we are having a 5 by 7 invitation, that means the side flaps are 2.5 inches. So right here on my scoring board, I am just picking out 2.5 inches from each side, and then I am going to line it up and drag my little scoring tool across. I'm just making sure that my paper is held down really well as I run this along, and I do that about 2 or 3 times just to make sure the crease is really well in there. After I've done one side, I go to the other, and again, 2.5 inches from the end of that one. So it's going to be around the 7.5 inch mark for this side. Also, when you are doing gatefolds, make sure you are scoring on the inside of the invitation because you are going to be folding the flaps inward. Don't do it on the outside. It's going to defeat the purpose and the lines are going to look really weird after you've made the folds. And once you've made the folds yourself, now you should have everything lined up perfectly with those measurements. And then I always include encourage sealing it up with however you see fit, whether it's a ribbon or maybe even a wax seal, just to keep it closed when people open it from their envelopes. So if you're someone that was looking to DIY this gatefold style, make sure you save this video and give this a try when it's your time to make yours.